In the military history of the United States, there are a number of locations of intense battlefield combat referred to as a bloody angle. There's the angle at Gettysburg, sometimes called the Bloody Angle, which was part of the intense fighting of Pickett's Charge on July 3, 1863. Then there's the Union assault of May 12, 1864, during the Battle of Spotsylvania Courthouse. But there's also a spot from the Revolutionary War that's sometimes called Bloody Angle, although this name might have been used only later after the Civil War. A year ago, I walked along the path of this earlier Bloody Angle. It's a section of the Battle Road at Minuteman National Park in Massachusetts. Hi, this is History with me, Dan. April 19th, 1775, was the date of the famous battles of Lexington and Concord, the event which sparked the American Revolutionary War. After the British force, led by Colonel Francis Smith, which had been sent out to confiscate Patriot arms in Concord, had their fateful encounter with the Minutemen at North Bridge, where the shot heard round the world was fired, they began the long march back towards Boston that turned into a running skirmish as they were attacked at various points by the Patriot militiamen along what is now known as the Battle Road. The location known as Bloody Angle is in the town of Lincoln, between Lexington and Concord. It was here that the path of the British soldiers passed Elmbrook Hill, where the road made a sharp turn to the northeast to avoid marshy terrain, and then made another angle that returned the road to its eastward course. If you follow the National Park Service's battle trail, you climb the hill parallel to the historic route to reach the angle. You can also divert down an alternate trail that allows you to follow the historic path of the British force. At about 1 p.m., as the British headed northeast between these two curves, they were caught in a crossfire, attacked from two sides. From the east by Patriot militia who'd arrived from Woburn and had already been harassing them with fire as they approached the first turn in the road, and then from the west by militia who had been following them from Concord, moving through fields northwest of the road. While the terrain is very wooded now, back in 1775 it was mostly an area of open fields, but the Bloody Angle area featured a wooded lot near the second turn in the road that was an ideal place for the militia to ambush the British regulars. At least 8 British soldiers and possibly as many as 30 were killed in this vicinity, and 4 of the militia also lost their lives. It is thought that at least 2 or 3 fallen British soldiers were later buried near the Bloody Angle. Today, there is a grave marker here, which indicates British soldiers were buried in the vicinity. Back on April 19, 1775, the running fight continued eastwards from here, towards the Hartwell Tavern, which survives today, and the site of the Samuel Hartwell House that burned down in 1968. Historians today don't care much for the use of the term Bloody Angle to refer to this section of the battlefield, because as I said, it was a term that only came to be used much later, and probably not by the participants. But whatever term is used for it, it was the scene of some of the most intense fighting along the battle road on one of the most important days in American history. Thank you for watching this short video, and please check out some of my other videos related to the Revolutionary War.